You see, I wonder how many beautiful opportunities of life I've missed out on simply because I was blind to them, simply because I couldn't see them for what they were, because I was masking them with who I was in that moment. I've been pondering on that today because I had this work opportunity that I missed out on a few years ago. And it came back around this month, and my subconscious nervous system wanted to reject it again. But this time around, I'm carrying an awareness with me about myself and my relationship to that opportunity that allowed me to notice that this dismissal of this opportunity is not right, because this opportunity is actually right for me. In a way, it is a real blessing. It's going to be amazing. I'm actually looking forward to what this opportunity is going to bring. But what is it in my nervous system that wants to just dismiss it? What is it that made me dismiss it years ago? And I have certain traumas that I'm carrying with me. I don't know if I like to use the word trauma there, but just for the lack of a better word right now, we're just going to use that word. I'm carrying something with me that makes my subconscious need validation in my pursuits. So rather that the pursuits validate me, validate that I'm alive, validate that I matter, validate that I'm here, validate that I'm enough. And I dismissed it years ago because the way that work opportunity looked like, the framework of that opportunity didn't serve that validation need. It would have been great for me in many aspects, yet the subconscious need for validation would have been fulfilled. So my nervous system rejected it because it didn't understand this. I didn't understand this. And I wasn't aware and present to that masking the opportunity, masking what I was seeing. I was running through life blind in that sense. You see, the things we're blind to, let me rephrase this, the things I am blind to are the ones leading my life, are the ones controlling my life. They are the ones that actually stand in the way of my greatness, of my happiness, of the life I deserve, the life I dream of. But I'm wondering, how often in life has this happened? May it be work opportunities, may it be a life partner that was perfect for me, may it be a great friend, a travel opportunity, just a random opportunity with a stranger, or really anything that it could have been in life. I wonder how often I was blind to a part of me that was masking my eyes, that was masking my presence to that moment, to be able to receive that which life was giving me in that moment, to be able to receive the blessing of life itself. And I wonder how many times in life have I masked, rewritten the reality of that dance of life in that moment by that thing that I'm carrying with me inside that I'm still unaware of, that is making me blind to actually see, to actually feel, to actually be with life. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm fully blind to life and I don't experience life. That's not where I'm going with this. But on a very, very deep perspective, I'm fairly certain there was a lot of them. And this reflection I'm currently having and why I'm pondering about this today is, I wonder how I can prevent this in the future. I wonder how I can meet the present moment of my life in a way that despite my blindness that I carry with me, and rest assured I will always carry blindness with me, no matter how aware I become, how present I become, how much I work on myself, to a certain degree there will always be some sort of blindness I carry with me, because there'll be always something I haven't gotten to yet, something I haven't experienced, a moment in life, a lesson of life, a dance I haven't danced yet, a dance I have no experience with. And that's really what it takes. The experience of life, the experience of all of these dances is what leads me to these conclusions, to these moments of pondering. And then, of course, through the pondering, the understanding, the wisdom that develops, that then brings awareness and presence in the next moment where this shows up again. And I'm able, despite maybe not having a real practical answer to it, still apply this understanding, this wisdom, to regain that awareness and presence in that moment, to then hopefully not carry this blindness over into the situation and let the blindness take away the opportunity of life in that moment. But still I'm pondering, besides that subconscious thing that will happen, because now I'm imprinting it into my nervous system, into my spirit, into my, whichever word you want to use here. I wonder if there's a practical way how I can become better. Just like an athlete, I like to run faster, so I practice like this. Just like a dancer, I practice steps. Even though in the improvisational dance of tango, I'm not really interested in dance sequences or step sequences that other people have come up with, yet I still practice the sequences. I still practice every option of step, forward, backward, diagonal, sideways, rotation, anything that I could think of that is available to me. I absorb it and practice it, so that within the improvisation of that moment of the dance, I have a lot of skill, understanding, and technique available. So I'm wondering, in this aspect of blindness that I'm speaking of today, we should always almost call it in the state of oblivion that I'm speaking of. If there's some sort of practice I could start from today that allows me to not fall into that trap so often. And when I say so often, I have no idea how often this has happened or not. But I'm fairly certain that it probably was quite the number. And how sad. How sad about all those work opportunities that could have brought me more abundance. How sad about all those strangers that I never got to meet, or dive deep with, or experience life with, travel somewhere. How about all those potential partners that I'll never get to dance with? How about all those friends that I never made? How about all those things that I can't even list right now because I was so oblivious to them that I don't even know them, that I didn't even recognize them as a thing of life in order to be able to list them right now? How about all those things that just flew by me because I was blind? I didn't recognize it as life that is coming to me, that is seeking me, that is offering opportunity for me to dance. Yeah, this very interesting. And I don't want to miss those things. And I'm not saying there's things that are come seeking me. Maybe that came out wrong. There is things that always hold an energy of possibility, of potential. There's so much potential energy in this world that is created by others in this world, living, doing this life thing. And I don't ever want to be blind to the potential of life anymore, ever. And it doesn't even mean that those potentials will ever lead to anything, may it be financial abundance or experiences or anything long-term. Like it doesn't even matter. The result is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about wanting to be a participant in the process. Wanting to be a participant of that moment of life. And if something turns from it or not is really irrelevant. Because I understand more and more, I understand more and more that the results of the things in life don't even matter to me. In these memories of things that I cherish in life, of things that I look back, the things that I really think imprinted the values and the spirit and the me of life, they aren't the results. They're the moments that I participated in. They're the moments that became reflections of who I was and what I learned and what I experienced and the people I got to feel, the things I got to feel. When I say people, it could be a whole bunch of things. There's life way beyond human beings and shapes, right? But the things that I got to feel and experience and the place where that potential energy and this potential energy meets and it dances. Dances is a metaphor, right? Don't get this wrong. It's not just about dances. Where that meets and dances. Those are the things that define my memories, define my hope, define my outlook, define my attitude, define the man I see in the mirror. So when I ponder about not wanting to be blind, not wanting to miss out on any of those things, it's not about the results, but it's really about I want to be there. I want to live. I want every potential for me to clash, to harmonize or not with energy of life so that I can feel, so that I can experience. Because in that dance of energy, in that moment of life, that is what life really is. And everything else doesn't matter. So I don't want to be oblivious to the thing that matters most. That's all I can tell you right now. I wish I'd have an answer on how this is done. For today, it's only putting on record in my nervous system, in my spirit, in the existence of me, the understanding that I know this happened, that I know this happens, and there's potential for this to happen all the time. And that I don't want this to happen. Let this be an instruction to my nervous system, to myself. Do not let this happen. When you get in that moment and you feel me be blind, shake me, wake me up. Let me be there. So that no moment has to be passed by through oblivion. I mean, sure, I can't interact with all energies of life. There's still resonance, right? So I will still discern through resonance which potential is mine and which isn't. So let this blindness make way to the harmony of resonance so that when I feel it, I give myself to it. I recognize it and I notice this is life. This is all there is. Give yourself to it and see what happens. Because process over outcome and the process of life is really just that. Feeling the harmony between the two polarities and meeting in a dance. To dance without any concern for the outcome. Because anything about the outcome is really it's not even real. Anything that has a long-term projection to it, really in essence it's a moment that gets danced continuously. So meaning the dance doesn't stop. But something cannot have a future outcome. It just is impossible. Energetically, it's just this universe does not allow for that. It's either a dance that quits dancing or a dance that continues dancing. And either way, the only important part is that I am within this dance. May it be just for this moment or the one that continues. Because in both structures, in both frames, the only important part is that I'm fully 1000% unblinded participant in this dance. Because if the dance is momentarily or a continuous one, is the part I can't control. If that's the part I get preoccupied with, then I actually take out a percentage of my attention, my awareness, my presence, my energy out of this dance, and I occupy it with this fictitious thing that lives somewhere, catalyzed by my thoughts, my cognitive approach to the interpretation of all of this. And it takes energy, so it will take part of it out of the dance. But no matter what I do in that space, I will not affect if this will perpetuate into the future or not. So the best thing I can do is just give myself to this fully, passionately, fully, and let that thing give itself to me, receive it fully and passionately. And we dance. And if we dance for a minute, it's a minute. And if we dance for an hour, it's an hour. For a day, for a week, for a month, for a year, or for the rest of our lifetime in this three-dimensional manifestation on this planet Earth. But either way, I was there fully, passionately. And I received it fully, passionately. And I say it because it could be you, it could be a cat, it could be a tree, it could be the breeze carrying consciousness of particles, anything, whatever it may be, whatever you're feeling, whatever moment life is bringing you. Or me, I want to be there fully and passionately, give myself and receive it equally. So that at the end of it, no matter what the result is, did it perpetuate or didn't it? There's one thing I won't have, and that's regret. Why? Because I was there and I lived. This is my invitation to myself, that this is the only thing that matters. Be there and live. And at the same time, it is also my invitation to you. Be there and live fully and passionately and receive equally in that sense. And if it perpetuates or not, if it becomes a longer frame of your life or not, you have no control over it. No matter what cognitive spaces we go into, we will only be taking energy away from that life, from that dance. Meaning, we try to use energy to control something that we cannot control. And in a result, we actually experience less of it. So if it was the only minute of this in my life that I will ever get, by using the energy for this uncontrollable thing, now I only experience 60% of it, or 70, or even less. Meaning, if that was the only 1 minute I got in my whole life, I only got 60% of it. And why would I do that to myself? So I want to be there. And despite all the dreams and hopes and ambitions I have for my future, because that's really what it is. When I get in this cognitive space thinking about projection, it's about my dreams and ambition and hopes. Partially, it's my blindness. Okay, let's get back to where we started. Fantastic. Now I'm getting somewhere. I like this. It's my blindness. See, in the work, it was about validation. Here, it's my blindness to soothe this sadness, this melancholy I have about these dreams and ambition, these knowing, this understanding of a version of life that I can feel, but that I don't have, at least all the time. I've experienced parts of this here and there, sometimes even for a longer bit, but it's not a constant in my life. And that melancholy of wanting it is what brings that blindness of not fully giving myself to it. Going into this cognitive space, which is really the blindness created by this melancholy. Yet if I would only understand that this melancholy is actually a gift, because there's a second version of this soul, a second version of Savada that never experienced those things. So he doesn't have this melancholy. And when I think about it, what a sad life. Because that melancholy I feel is not like sadness in a depressed kind of way. I don't really know what words to use for it, but it's the melancholy of knowing the power of life. The depth, the passion of life and love and experience and just life. The gift that I am here and I can dance. The depth of the dance that I love so much. And in moments that doesn't have that depth, that melancholy rules. And because a lot of life is, practical, I gotta survive, I gotta make money, I gotta make sure I'm safe, I'm healthy. Like there's a lot of upkeep in life. I haven't figured out the upkeep fully yet because I've neglected it for so long on my spiritual journey inside, through this world, through this life, that now focusing on this upkeep so much, it keeps me away from that depth for prolonged of times. Because I'm not 22 anymore to just put on a backpack and go and give myself to that depth. Because I have to think of the 80-year-old me that needs the safety that I'm creating right now. And this detachment from that dance, from that depth, creates this melancholy that then in moments creates this oblivious blindness to moments of life, because rather than then again giving myself to that life that has created all of this, I'm masking it with a blindness of the melancholy, trying to soothe the melancholy. Of course, subconsciously, my nervous system just trying to survive and regulate itself. And therefore actually creating more of that melancholy in the future by reducing that depth that it is really seeking. Because I have to give myself fully first to allow for that opportunity to crack open in the universe and become that thing that goes so deep, where energies collide and all of a sudden you're like, wow, what just happened? We just did a sequence of dance steps and I cannot replicate them. Life just happened. And I'm speechless. Grateful, but speechless. I hope you understand what I mean with that. It's a thing I can't explain with words, but I hope you've had moments like that. And yeah. life. Just live it. A lot of pondering. No real practical, this is how you do it. And I know YouTube's algorithm favors this is the how-to. Let me give you the 3 secrets of never being blind and oblivious to life again. And sorry, I don't have them. But what I do have is, in these videos, we can sit together and we can ponder and we can think, reach out, we can exchange, we can ponder together, and together we find great life. Together we find great opportunity. Together we walk each other home. That's what these videos are really for. It's a way for me. See, I do this with myself. If the camera is there or not, what you're seeing here, I do anyways with myself. I usually go on walks or sit under a tree or whatever it may be. But I feel the urge to leave this in this video format. This conversation, this pondering, this dance with spirit, you could say. And maybe these videos open this conversation for you as well. So you can participate in this version now, and then you will perpetuate your own conversation in this sense. And then hopefully we can all give ourselves to life in the manner I've been pondering about today. And I'll be looking forward to the day where maybe you and I won't be strangers anymore. And if that never happens, yeah, I hope you still have a fantastic life. Whatever that might look like or mean to you, because I'm fairly certain my definition of it may be completely different than yours. And that's okay. The greatness about this life is that there's so much up, everything is available. The doors are open in all directions, and no judgment in whatever direction one may wander. And yet the funny thing, in the end, we're still walking each other home. We're all just taking different paths. And with some people on similar paths, we walk together. And with others, we don't. But in the end, I will see you all there at home. And I guess these moments that I speak about, that I want to give myself to and that I want to receive, they're really just the walking each other home parts. The gift of life, to be here, to experience the expression of my soul from whatever it may come from, whatever it may be a part of, oneness or not. We can talk about all those things, but that doesn't even matter. But truly just the gift that I am here and that I can experience, and that you are here and that you can experience, and that together we can be something and experience something way beyond what we can by ourselves. Way beyond what we can by ourselves. And in that one sentence, to me, is the meaning of life.